NFL draft will be just a few hours away for most people that watch this video. And very rare is it a player that comes out of high school and people are already thinking, okay, he's an NFL player, a top-line NFL player, something would have to drastically go wrong. But Kayvon Thibodeaux was one of those guys. What are you hearing in regards to how quickly he should come off the board on day one?
Well, you know, realistically, I think right now it's quarterbacks, it's edge rushers, it's great offensive tackles. Everything is around the quarterback position now. I mean, I think you're seeing now more use of wide receivers. I think wide receivers are going to get paid more than running backs. How running backs used to get paid, I think, is how wide receivers are going to get paid in the future. But edge rushers have to be in the top 1, 2, 3 conversation. They're one of the most important people on the field. So to have a guy like KT, you're right. The guy was in high school, and he was already being projected as the -- guy. He showed up. He hit the weight room really hard. He had never even hit weights, really. The guy was an absolute Adonis coming out of high school. The guy had never really even hit weights that hard in high school. First real weight program he'd ever really been on was college. And the guy just juiced up. I mean, the guy had all that natural body talent already. And then when they add to it the diet, the protein, everything else, of course, next level at Oregon, they really went to work. He had some injury problems. He wasn't necessarily dominant, but he was also an absolute handful at any moment. There were moments when he was dominant, and I tend to think those were the most important moments of the entire year. He played great in the Pac-12 championship game. The Pac-12 championship game is a hugely important game because Pac-12 is always on the outside looking in from the 14 playoff. So you have to go absolutely all the way through it. You have to win that game because that's one of your biggest games, schedule-wise, or having the best number rating. You know, you don't get a lot of Pac-12 opponents that are top 25 or top 15, so you got to, get it when you can. And he showed up. Oh, boy, that first Utah game, wow, he was amazing all over the field. He almost blocked a punt and then returned the same punt. Like, I've never even seen anything. Blocked it, like, to the sideline, almost ran it down, almost caught it and returned it. Like, the guy's just an absolute freak. I mean, I do think there's some questions people have about his desire or his kind of mindset going into it. He is a new age athlete. He is concerned about brand. He is focused on what he wants to do after. I remember the conversation where I think it was Derrick Rose that said, I don't know, man. I'm having all these knee surgeries. I don't know about in my future. I might be sitting in a meeting and just my knees are going to be sore. And he's already thinking about the business plans afterward. He's not focused on like what I'm doing right now. And people got so mad at him for that. But I think that's kind of the new age. These guys are building a brand. They're trying to do something post NFL, and that might be a turnoff. That I think there's some guys that don't want any of that. They don't want a social media presence. They just want guys to go to the practice facility, just work. Kayvon's going to be a great player. I think he's a little undersized comparatively to other guys. He's not a Reggie White type. He's not a Bruce Smith type off the edge. He's much more of a, Von Miller type or, almost like a Lawrence Taylor, where you just the smaller body, the outside linebacker body. And that's kind of why I thought maybe Oregon last year was putting him in to drop back coverage just to give the NFL some tape to show that he can be so versatile. He can do a bunch of things, because why would you take your best edge rusher and one of the best edge rushers in the country? Why would you take him off the edge rush? Why would you drop him back into coverage? This is mind-blowing to me. And so, he's proven he can do a lot of things. He's a great athlete. I think he's a good dude. He's always been the best. He's always been one of the guys who's always been the best player on his team everywhere he went. And he kind of has that attitude. And that can be a little bit of a turnoff as well for guys, maybe. They want guys that are humble, and they want guys that are focused. And they, he's the guy that comes in pretty brash. And he's also focused, but he's focused on a lot of different things. And might not be the exact thing that they want him to be focused on, And so those things can maybe hurt you, especially in the draft process. What is great about him is his athletic ability. The guy is an incredible body. He does the interviews with his shirt off. I mean, the guy is a quality individual, and he's going to give you a presence on the media. He's going to give you a presence with interviews. He wants to be a part of the media long term, so he wants to transition, go into the booth, or go into, the pregame, postgame show. He's got that kind of attitude, mindset. He's already got that focus on it. And now that he's in the NIL era, I mean, he's coming out of it. He's kind of embracing the new age of what this could be. And so he's called his shot. He came out of high school saying, I'm going to go to the NFL. I'm going to play in the NFL. And now he's here. I think he's going to be a top 10 player. I've never thought he was going to go number 1. I've always thought maybe top 5. Maybe he's slipped, but I don't think he's out of the top 10. And that's important because Oregon, this would make the 3rd year in a row of top 10 in the NFL. And some guys that are making some serious hay in the NFL. I mean, there's some guys who are, I mean, we saw Penei Sewell. I talked with him just at the spring game just 2 days ago. He was sitting right next to his family. His brother is going to be a guy to make some noise in the NFL. He's got a tremendous amount of love at Oregon, obviously, for being the best offensive lineman of all time, basically. And then you had Javon Holland go in and had a great first year with the Dolphins. So there's kind of a history of Oregon being able to produce some pretty good talent lately, and could be another one where KT could come into a program and immediately be the day 1 starter. And that's hard to say a lot of college kids can do.
It's not going to be a banner year in regards to volume of picks, but if anybody else gets elected, it looks like they're going to be concentrated in the secondary.
Yeah, I think for the Ducks especially, I think Verone McKinley III has the best mindset, attitude. He's a guy who, if you're an NFL, kind of the things that you got turned off with maybe KT, you get turned on with Verone. Verone is a guy who's all business, all football, great attitude, great mindset, really, really smart, can talk the game. Mikael Wright, great athlete. I think he can do some things. I don't know about Devin Williams. I think he has an opportunity just because of his body alone. Big 6'5", almost 6'6" frame. Looks 6'6" when you stand next to him. I don't know if he has the speed or has the route running that they're looking for. Again, I think wide receiver is so precise. Johnny Johnson III was a great receiver for Oregon, probably the best receiver while he was here and healthy. But he's a little undersized. I don't know if he really wows anybody. So there's going to be some guys who maybe get some looks at, maybe you're signing after the word. Or the draft is deep. Maybe they pick somebody late, but I'm expecting maybe 2 to 3 players picked. If more get picked, that'd be fantastic for Oregon, because I do think Oregon needs more NFL presence to continue to remain relevant nationally. And the NFL presence we've had as of late has been pretty productive. So, you put together a pretty good lineup like we're going to have with these recruits over the last 3 years, the best recruits we've ever had in Oregon's history. Hopefully that should pan out for some NFL talent out of those numbers. So that's the goal, at least.
Johnny Johnson, a strong 5-year career with the Ducks, 139 catches, 15 scores. Devin Williams, 55 catches, 7 touchdowns.